Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you all how to draw a semi-realistic eye using ballpoint pen. What you're going to need is a pencil just to do all your initial sketching and stuff like that. A pen. I'm using a Bic pen and that would be what I recommend to all of you. Don't use any cheap like dollar store or pound shop pen because they never work very well. So yeah, a branded pen works best. A putty rubber, I just use that to get rid of all the pencil marks once I've done all the pen everywhere. And just some toilet paper to wipe your pen off when it gets a bit clogged. I started off with my pencil drawing already done just because this is mainly about the techniques that you'll need for just drawing with the ballpoint pen rather than drawing the outline of the eye and everything itself. Before you start, you want to draw on something with your pen just to get rid of any clogging in the pen, and that'll just help everything go smoother. I started off with the pupil just because I wanted to get my darkest darks down first, and then I went around the iris of the eye because that's also fairly dark, like, so you know yourself. Just go and do your darkest places first, and don't go too dark initially because you can always build up the darks, but you can't take any of the ink away, so just be careful with how intense you make everything. My first bit of advice that like you should really use is use a reference picture. Don't try and draw an eye from your head because it's never going to look right. Like if you're going for realism, it's always going to look a bit wonky, a bit dodgy. Like it's never going to have the right effect that you're looking for. So that's like the first most important thing to do. The next thing is follow, this is the first thing pretty much still, but follow your reference as much as you can. Like I'm really bad at getting a likeness with portraits and stuff, and like this isn't helping, but just make sure you're getting every single detail within the eye, every single like ripple in the iris, every single vein, every single wrinkle around the eye. I'm not the best at that. Now I'm going to tell you that now. Like I'm not very good. But I'm telling you, just try. I'm still trying to get better, and you should get better. Also, when choosing a reference picture, make sure, or not make sure, but look for ones that have a reflection in the eye, because that always helps things look far more realistic, and it's going to help your drawing just look so much better in the end when you leave the reflection there. And also look for one that you can see the reflection of the eyelashes, because that also makes things look better. Now for when you're drawing with the ballpoint pen, never scribble like a zigzag, like back and forth. Always think of it like, oh, I heard this somewhere, think of it like a plane, like landing off and or taking off and landing. Like just do strokes. Don't be going like back because that's going to give you like dodgy little dots all over the gaff. You want it to be like a smooth little yoke, like like she's like, imagine like you're rubbing a dog. You don't want to rub a dog like like, because you're going to hurt the dog. Well, you mightn't hurt the dog, but you get a bit matted or something. Think of it like a, it's like ASMR at this point. So yeah, I was just showing you there in the video to, I don't even know why I'm talking, like just watch the video and you'll be grand. But for the white of the eye, never leave it white ever, because if you look at someone's eye, or especially in a picture, like it's going to be an off-white, like a grey color. So with your pen, barely lean down and tilt it, and that will help you shade a lighter color with the pen. And just do that all over, and usually on the outsides of the eye it'll be darker, because if you think of a sphere, like you look at it and it will just give the illusion of a spherical shape within the eye. And yeah, also try and get the veins. I didn't do very well because I didn't wipe off my pen, so there's a bit of like gammy dots all over the gaff, but try your best to make it as smooth as possible. And then in the tear duct you want to try and get as much detail in there, because that will really help bring it to life. Now I'm moving on to the crease of the eye, and I'm just building up a shadow or line where the shadow is within the crease. And whatever angle that I was at, I could not do this properly. Like, she was going proper dodge. But I just slowly building up the crease and making it darker and darker, because in the reference photo it was pretty much black, but I was really scared of putting it down black straight away. And once again, make sure your lines are going in the one direction when you're trying to shade with a pen, because if you try and cross hatch, because cross hatching is a style, but if you're going for realism, it's not going to look realistic, because you're going to see loads of like little squares all over the place. So with the ballpoint pen, just draw little lines, and you're drawing them as light as you possibly can, and you're drawing them as close as you possibly can to give it an illusion of a flat like color. So just keep on, like, and remember the plane, yo, just plane landing and taking off. That's what you're doing with your pen, landing and taking off. I'm going to do another video soon enough where I go more into detail on the techniques that I use when drawing with ballpoint pen. I just thought that an eye would be a good place to start, because everyone likes eyes, and you know. When drawing the skin around the eye, I wanted to make especially sure to be as light as possible, just because I don't want there to be a lot of texture there, and I just wanted it to look as smooth as possible. So here especially, you're going to want to just, you know, be as light as possible with your pressure, and have your pen at as great of an angle as you possibly can. And then when you need to make places darker, you can just layer up the pen and make them darker without adding too much texture. So that's just a good way to have the smoothest effect you possibly can. Then for the under eye, there's usually going to be a fair few wrinkles, so make sure you get them in, and just follow your reference to make them look as realistic as possible. Like, don't just draw a line and think that's going to look like a wrinkle. There's going to be shadows. Like here, there was like a shadow at the top, and then the underneath had a lighter bit. So I did that, like, and she don't look that realistic, the wrinkle now, to be fair, but with practice you can make anything look realistic. So that's just the main thing. Practice, practice, practice. And you can do anything with enough practice, really. But make sure you're trying to improve still. Don't be drawing the same thing over and over and with the same techniques. Try new stuff. Like, if you're not getting anywhere with one medium, maybe try a new medium and learn from that. Even if you don't want to do that medium, like, try something new and you can learn stuff from that to bring it into whatever medium you do want to draw with. Now, in the drawing here, I'm just starting to draw the eyelashes, and this is like my favorite part when drawing any eye. It just brings the most life to it. And once again, follow your reference. Don't be drawing just, you know, a few squiggly lines up and hoping that look like proper eyelashes. Like, make sure if there's an eyelash going like the opposite way than you think it should be in the reference, draw it that opposite way, because that's what's going to make it look realistic. Like, people's faces, like, their eyelashes aren't going to be perfectly all up in the same order. Like, there's going to be ones out of line, and make sure you're getting each and every one that's out of line in your drawing. Also, when drawing them, make sure that you're adding more pressure at the start and then tapering it off, and then even go over it a second time over the base of the eyelash to give more thickness there, because hairs naturally taper, so they're going to be thicker at the bottom and taper off. So make sure you're getting that within your drawing to give it as much of a realistic look as possible, because that's what we're going for. And that's it, nearly done now. I'm just adding some final details and stuff around the place, and yeah, I think that's it done. I don't know what I'm doing here. I kept on going over the eyelashes to make them as decent looking as possible, but yeah. If you want to see more tutorials like this from me, just subscribe and tell me in the comments if there's anything in particular you want to see. I know my voiceovers at the moment aren't the best, and I ramble off a lot and I don't know what I'd be talking about, but I'm going to try to get better. Just bear with me for the start. I'm new to these videos. But yeah, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment saying whatever you want to say. So yeah, bye the fuck.